Thank you very much, and thank you to Lee again for letting me have this opportunity to be here, actually. This is the first time I've done any speaking event, so, you know, for me to do it for all of you is an absolute pleasure and honor. Today, we're going to talk about fueling your future. I don't know if I need this, actually. I've got a loud enough mouth, haven't I? Just do it with no mic. So I'm going to talk about fueling your future and hopefully giving you some understanding to the reasons of why we do what we do in terms of our health and fitness journey and ultimately making better decisions, okay? But I am going to talk a little bit about me because I've lived 3 different lives really in terms of lifestyles. The old me, which was the bodybuilder me, okay? The bodybuilder me was, you know, at the time, single, no responsibility, so could be self-obsessed, I guess. But bodybuilder, very obsessive, would spend hours in the gym training 2 to 3 times a day, but I never felt enough. Never felt enough. Even on the outside, you know, you could look at someone and think, oh my God, he's in great shape, and we do that, we compare ourselves to others, right? But this is something, again, like I would look in the mirror and I would never feel enough. I had unhealthy food habits. Again, being a bodybuilder, you're very restricted in what you eat, which is not a good thing most of the time because I used to have these mad crazy binges, again, like this emotional eating disorder where I would restrict, and then end up having this crazy outburst of binging and stuff. So again, it wasn't healthy for me. I was a steroid user, you know, would take steroids to obviously look this way and be able to compete in bodybuilding shows, etc. So, you know, that wasn't a very good play on my mental health either. But again, being young, naive, you don't think about the implications or the downfalls of what's to come. And I battled a lot with my mental health. So, you know, this is, again, just an old version of me. From the outside, you think, yeah, great. But what goes on behind that? Now, this is this is a funny bit, actually. This picture next is me after this. So this was another lifestyle that I lived. Yeah? So after bodybuilding, and this is like pre-lockdown, I kind of stopped bodybuilding and let it all go. So obviously stopped taking steroids, like had a complete meltdown, gave it all up, okay? I actually met the love of my life in this time, so it was almost like, you know, no matter what happened, as long as we were happy and we were spending time together and lockdown gave us the opportunity to do that, I didn't really care. So obviously I'm not a bodybuilder at this point. This is the end of a couple of years of like 2, maybe 3 years of like really doing nothing. I was carefree, but again, being carefree might sound good, but not caring at all, it's quite a sad place to be. I stopped training altogether. Again, I never felt enough. I had an identity crisis at this point. I didn't want people to see me because people knew me as Levi the bodybuilder. They would see me, this big, jack, ripped guy all the time. And then all of a sudden, when I did see people who knew me, they were like, what's happened? And I just felt, you know, embarrassed. And I was like, I almost trying to explain myself, but why? Like, am I not allowed to stop training? Am I not allowed to look like this? I was, you know, unhealthy food habits again, would endlessly eat takeaways and other things that I never did before I was doing, okay, living the lifestyle of being a bit of a binge eater. I smoked quite a lot of weed back then, which again, something that I never did, so I replaced one drug for another drug. You know, very interesting that you switch the two. Again, weed for me was something that I used as an escapism. Lee was talking about it a second ago. He's gone now, he's back there, is he? How, you know, why do we take drugs? Why do we try and, you know, use addictions? And a lot of the time, I think, it's for escapism, to just escape reality, to just not feel the pain or to have to deal with the responsibilities and the stresses that we have. And I did also battle mental health here as well, you know. So 2 very different lifestyles, one extreme over here, and I've got one over here. I didn't want to continue living either of those lives. So what I did is I pulled them together to create who I pretty much am now, trying to be athletic. I'm not a bodybuilder. I like to live a life where I do stay in shape, I do stay fit, but I'm not obsessive. I have purpose. Ultimately, you know, I'm a dad, but I have a purpose. I have a clients to serve. I want to be the best version of myself, to lead by example, okay? 3 times 52 workouts. Really, really important that I put this because this is a promise that I made to myself, a non-negotiable, is no matter what, I will train 3 times a week for 52 weeks of the year now. A lot of us in here, put your hands up if you sometimes struggle to be consistent in the gym. Yeah, it's not easy, is it? Sometimes we set ourselves up for this expectation of being in the gym 4 or 5 times a week, and after a few weeks of doing it, you hit that wall and the motivation's gone and you're not feeling it, and all of a sudden the 4 sessions become 3, they become 2, and then you're back in the hole where you're not training at all. But if you can just do 3 times a week, that's less than 50% of the week. Surely that's more achievable. So again, it's like making a promise to myself to live, to train a little bit more consistently and find that balance, okay? Developed healthy eating habits. So yes, I stay pretty regimented through the week, but I also do enjoy every single night. Our family meal will be made up of, you know, tasty food, well, burger night, chicken fajita night. I think about food through the day as being business. So breakfast and lunch, it's just a formality. It's food for fuel. I need to make sure I hit my protein target. I want to eat foods that are going to help me to be energetic, to have good focus, to feel full. And then when the evening time comes, we have something that's always a little bit different. That's what I call pleasure. Yeah, make the taste buds sing and dance. All right? I'm now teetotal. I don't smoke, I don't drink. Okay, I'm pretty much trying to be as straight as I can all the time, because whenever I do have, you know, have a drink or smoke weed or anything, there's always a downfall to it. And I want to be, you know, it's hard to be consistently good, but, it's hard to be consistently good, but that is the aim. And then I also manage my mental health now as well by going through active therapy. I've got a therapist, and I do, like I say, you know, Lee talks about journaling a lot, which does help, but just being honest with yourself. I think it's okay to have bad days. It's not always going to be sunshines and rainbows. You know, I'm sure everyone here can relate to that. Life is hard, yeah, but we just got to be better, especially in them lower days. Don't get yourself in a hard time. Just get up and get on with what you got to get done. Have some minimal expectations. That's what I'm going to talk about later on, is having some non-negotiables, all right? So no matter what you're feeling or doing, as long as I can tick one or two things off, I've had a good day, because the good days are going to come back, okay? So I'm going to start with the first step, and this is kind of how I started to challenge my new lifestyle. I thought, you know, I've been a bodybuilder. I've also been, you know, a bit of a bum, not done anything, and I want to find that balance, but I want to understand more about how the human body works. And it took me to this first place. Calories. Calories. Put your hand up if you get triggered by the word calories, and be honest. Yeah, it's okay. Like, honestly, who thinks calories are bad? Who thinks calories are good? Yeah, they're neither good or bad. Put my clicker down, sorry. Calories it's just a unit of measurement for energy. That's all it is, okay? Just like turning on a light bulb, you use 1 kilowatt of energy. Just like opening a door, you're using 1 calorie. So they're not good or bad calories. It's just a unit of energy, okay? Now, there's 4 different ways in which the human body burns calories. And I want some guesses, okay? So anybody who knows any ways, and it can be as simple as basically to think, let's have some guesses. Who wants to guess one of the ways in which we burn calories? G-Man? Moving, perfect, that's one way. Don't want to guess? Eating, there we go, that's 2. Sleeping, that is part of 1, that is resting. So we've got 3 there. What's the other way that we burn calories? Sex, that's moving, technically. So you say sweat, sex or sweat? Sex, yeah. I thought you heard that. I thought, in my mind on sex. Hope not. So we've got 3 ways there, and we've actually got 1 more as well, which is, we said exercise, we said eating. Oh, we said it all, didn't we? We said them all. Yeah, sorry. So these are the 4 different ways. Now, what I've done is, I'm going to come this side because I'll cover it up, is you've got the sciencey words on the left-hand side, but I want to keep it as super simple as possible and give the layman's terms, if you like. So exercise, activity, thermogenesis, we're going to call it exercise. When we eat food, thermogenesis food, that's the way we burn calories. I'm going to put as eating. NEAT, people might have heard the word NEAT a lot. If anyone follows any fitness coach online, they always talk about improve your NEAT. It's like, what is NEAT? Okay, NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis, but that is basically moving, fidgeting, blinking, opening doors. That's what you do quite a lot of the day. I mean, you've got your BMR, which stands for basal metabolic rate, which is resting. Now, basal metabolic rate is basically, if you used to lay in bed all day, every day, and some people call these coma calories, you would still burn calories because you've got your brain function, organ function, immune function. Your body's constantly working. It's on a 24-hour cycle, okay? So, what I'm showing you here is a percentage chart of the categories in which your body burns calories, okay? Now, I want us to hazard some guesses of which categories each one goes into, okay? Which one do you think falls into the 70% category? Do we think it's movement? Put show of hands for movement. Okay. No right or wrong answers here. Resting, eating. Yeah, I bet I've been at 70% before eating. Exercise. Who thinks we burn 70% of calories through exercise? Brilliant. Okay, so it's actually in this order. So 70% of your calories every day is burnt through resting, through doing nothing. And the bulk of it's done right there, which is crazy to think. How many people in here, raise some hands, if you think you go to the gym to lose weight, to burn calories? Yeah, initially I did. I used to think that. I used to go to the gym to get in shape. Like, I've got to lose some fat. I've got to do this. Go to gym, go to gym, go to gym. And then I learned, actually, a big bulk of the calories is done through resting, through BMR, which I was like, that makes no sense whatsoever. But again, this is what I'm going to try and help you understand, is how the body constantly works. The 15% of calories is burnt through movement, okay? So again, like moving, fidgeting, walking, blinking. You know, I do a lot of this. Again, having definitely got ADHD, you know, my movement probably is quite high, so I do burn a lot of calories, do that. Then you've got 10%, which is where you actually eat calories to burn more calories. All right, this is why foods are so important, which we're going to get into next as well. And only 5% of your daily calorie expenditure is done through exercise. So all of a sudden, we're now thinking, so I haven't got to spend endless, countless hours in the gym to lose weight. If I can actually just master better movement, better eating habits, and just train consistently good, okay, it's going to make a massive impact on this, and I can actually have a much better overall calorie expenditure. Now, I want to give some improvements on how we can improve. If you want to write these down, you can do, but again, we will put these slides into the group after, for example. But how can we improve your BMR? Well, first thing that we need to do is make sure we stay hydrated. Okay, absolutely essential. The body is made up of water, 70% to be average, all right? So hydration is key, such an important part. Quality, Lee's playing some video, watching him again, I bet. You all right? Quality sleep. And I put quality there because sleep, we all think we can go to sleep sometimes and get a couple of hours, but is it quality? Are we getting that deep rest? Are we going through the 4 or 5 stages, obviously, that the body needs to really heal and recover? And again, things that's going to inhibit sleep is caffeine intake, alcohol, you know, sitting in your phone. Who sits in the phone? Who sits in bed at night watching TikTok or on the phone just to like wind down? Yeah, I know I do sometimes, and I try and preach to my clients, you know, get off your phone, have your bedtime routine, but it does play a role. And the best thing to do when it comes to sleep is have these bedtime routines where you're not on your phone and you do have a hot shower, you have a bit more of a bedroom hygiene set up, you know, cool lit room, and then go to sleep. And then when you wake up, that's the best moment to actually journal on it. Like, how did I feel after doing those few steps? And hopefully you feel refreshed, you feel good, you feel motivated, you feel ready, rather than waking up feeling crap, tired, thinking, oh, I can't be asked to get up, I just want to stay in bed for another hour longer. Okay, so again, quality sleep. Cardiovascular health. We want to make sure that we do stay physically fit. You know, that's why going out walking, having some kind of cardio regime is so important, because if we can have a healthy heart, the body will be able to, you know, get the body moving more, to be able to shuttle nutrients around the body better, and then managing things like stress and inflammation. How many people deal with stress in this room? Yeah, stress is a big one, isn't it? Like work stress, family stress, being on a program can be stressful, you know, trying to get through some of the hard times. So just managing your stress and inflammation is something we'll talk about, which is more specific to foods, okay? Now, the second one is NEAT, which is basically movement, ways that we can improve that. Again, these are obviously very obvious, but I want to just kind of make sure that we are very understanding of this. So walking, moving, fidgeting, like playing with your kids. It's a big one. You know, I've got two and a half year old son. He's got more energy than me. So I make sure that we go on walks, we go to the park. And I'm also thinking, I'm spending great time with him, but I'm also getting some extra steps in. I'm also burning some extra calories, okay? So try and use that time to be with your kids. If you've got dogs, like utilize spending time with others as an opportunity to leverage your own health journey, okay? Take the stairs instead of the elevator. I don't want anybody who, you know, if you work in a big office block, if you work in one that's got, you know, you work on the 40th floor, good. Like, enjoy those 40 floors as you walk up them, okay? But just be really on it, like parking in the furthest space away when you go shopping. Doing those extra few steps might not seem like a lot at the time, but doing it again and again, it will make a big difference, I promise you, okay? And again, you're starting to realign your energy and your focus with your goals. Another one is obviously eating. So again, ways that we can improve this. Only 3 things I want to touch on here is making sure that you eat all your macros, okay? Everyone here has got a macro plan with your target goals, okay? We can, especially those that are on a weight loss journey, we can tend to undereat. Because think, if I undereat more, I'll lose more weight. But if we undereat, we actually downregulate the rest of the body. So when I spoke to you earlier on about BMR, you know, how we can improve the quality of the calories we burn, if we start to undereat, we're only going to downregulate your performance, your energy, and ultimately you're going to be the one that's going to be struggling when it comes to losing weight, having good energy, staying motivated, and having good sleep as well. So a big one is to always hit your protein goal. Yeah, the body's made up of aminos. Your body needs protein. Super, super important. I just guarantee if you hit your protein goals, and even if your carbs and your fats are not quite there, you will see a massive improvement in your body composition. Protein makes you feel fuller for longer. It helps to, helps the rest of the body to digest better. And ultimately, for me, protein is not the main macronutrient, but it's definitely one of the most important. Like beyond everything, make sure your plate has got good protein source on it. Okay. And then last one, is just something that I think is really important is when we are, eating foods is pick the ones that are single ingredient nutrients, the ones that aren't processed, the ones that are as whole food as possible. The body will be able to digest it and use it much better. This will not, very rarely you will get any kind of inflammation or gas or bloatedness from eating foods that are so bad. Now, I'm not saying don't go and have a McDonald's now and again or have a takeaway, but 80% of the time, let's get really good with the food. And then to finish off on this section of the talk is how can we improve your exercise? Well, definitely going to the gym. Training weights is a huge way we can improve your activity thermogenesis. Training with intensity, so train hard. Don't be scared to push yourself. Don't be scared to get a sweat on. And then things like HIIT training are going to be really good, which can be anything from endurance work, running, cycling, weight training, circuit classes, CrossFit. So, put yourself in, like Ian was saying, put yourself into uncomfortable positions where you think, this is hard work. I don't think I can complete this set. It's like, good. Yeah, it should feel hard. And I want you to push yourself because you're going to benefit on the other side of this. So this is kind of the overview of the chart itself. And basically what I'm saying there is, in order to really have a healthy basal metabolic rate, and this is, again, the main bulk of your calories, these 3 have to really be on point. I mean, to be better in line, shall we say. So make sure, and again, this is where the lifestyle, even though we're talking about calories right now, this is all the lifestyle habits and routines. Yeah? So making sure that we do our daily steps, make sure that we hit our protein target, hit our macros, make sure we commit to those 3 gym sessions a week. Them 3 together will improve this. If your body can function better, can rest, recover, you can get better sleep, you can actually start to perform better. Your overall journey in terms of your results is going to tenfold. I promise you that. So moving on to the next step, I needed to understand more a bit about food, okay? And again, this is going to be something that I want you all to take away from today. You are what you eat. Who's heard this statement before? Yeah, big one, isn't it? I think there's a Netflix program, actually, about this exact statement, which, does it make sense? I don't know. Well, it kind of does make sense to me. You eat bad, you feel bad, you eat good, you feel good. So give me a show of hands again. For anyone that's probably had something like a McDonald's, have you ever felt great after it? You might feel good in the moment, but do we feel good after? Probably bloated, probably a bit gassy. And all of a sudden, maybe if you actually journaled it and noticed it, maybe 12 hours later, you start to feel a bit down and depressed and a bit anxious. It's like, I felt good yesterday, nothing changed, my day was normal. Yeah, we're in McDonald's, but it's only a burger and chips. What's wrong with that? Again, like food does have a massive impact on your mood, which I'm going to explain in a second to show you. But this statement isn't quite true. And the statement that I realized was, you are what your body can digest, what it can absorb, and what it can excrete, which, as a whole, it's important that we can eat foods that do, digest well, because we need to make sure that the body doesn't reject them. if we can absorb them well enough, the body's going to use them, and if we can get rid of them well enough. So again, I don't want to talk about poo, but we need to be regular. You know, I know sometimes when you're on a new plan, we can get a little bit bunged up, and again, it's making sure that we've got the right foods in the diet to make sure that we are healthy. Dave Steen's not even here today, but someone that, I think most people know Dave Steen in the group, but for those that don't, he's recently got on a gluten-free diet since having bad energy, struggling with his health a bit, and since doing the simple switch of going gluten-free, he's now got great energy, he's feeling fired up, he's got a much better relationship with food, and all of a sudden, he's feeling good. And that's because he can now digest, absorb, and excrete foods that he's eating, rather than having that battle of eating foods that he's not quite sure about, or thinking that I need to eat these foods because they're what, are seem to be good. So look at food as an investment in your health, in your future health, not just the here and now. Okay, so just like, I don't know, anyone goes on the stock market, but you make small deposits of money to then obviously make a bigger bank later, just like food. What you eat today will show up tomorrow. What you eat this week, keep clicking it, will show up next week. Yeah, so take pride in what you eat. And this is why I say, like, my meals for the day are business, and then I have that more pleasurable meal in the evening. And I make sure the food I'm eating, it is an investment in my future, because I want to feel good tomorrow. I don't want to be bloated, be gassy, feeling crap, feeling constipated. I want to have good energy, good flow, okay? So make sure, again, that we start to take note of the foods that can actually be used better in our body. And you don't need to do anything crazy for that, but you've all got your plans that you've built, through Lee and that and myself. And it's about now recognizing, do these foods, react to me when I have them? And all you need to do, like generally speaking, if any food isn't good for you, you will get some bloat, stomach will blow up, bit of gas, things like that. They're telltale signs that food isn't serving you. And if you notice that after a certain food, take it out, try something else. And all of a sudden it's like, I feel better. I keep clicking it. Right, so going on to this next one. This is a big one that I wanted to share with you all, because this really hit me like a ton of bricks. 95% of your serotonin is created in your gut. Now, serotonin is the feel-good factor hormone. This is the hormone that makes us feel good, feel happy. Yeah, who wants to feel happy? Yeah, definitely, we all do, right? But all of a sudden, that hormone is created in the gut, which I thought was created in the brain. I'm thinking, so what does that mean? Well, I'll tell you what it means. The foods that you are eating that aren't serving you, that do cause inflammation, that do cause stress, will have a negative impact on your mood. Yeah, your brain and your gut is connected through what's called the vagus nerve. You don't need to know that, but I want to sound clever, okay? And ultimately, if we do eat things that aren't serving us, especially things like alcohol, drugs, yeah? These are the things that can really have a massive impact on our mood, and food's one of them. Food is medicine, if we look at it in a way where, again, it's an investment in your health. The thing is, we live in a modern world now where, back in the day when we lived on the land, we'd have to hunt and gather and find, bison and deer. We'd have to forage for berries. Whereas hunting now is going to Tesco supermarket and walking down aisles and grabbing what you want, or even better, going on Just Eat and ordering a takeaway. We just see food as a here and now. And this is the problem is, we get caught up in what do I want, not what do I need. So this one for me is a really big one. I promise you, the minute you start to take action with the food you eat and keep it as clean as possible and still have some fun, but 8 at a time, keep your foods relatively healthy. Like, just on that point alone, when we start a new plan, for everyone that started a new plan this year and you're back on track, we're eating, chicken, salads, veggies, potatoes, pastas. We feel good. Energy's good. Stomach feels good. And it's no coincidence that that's not happening, okay? Yes, we're exercising more, but the food plays a huge role. So again, just touching on serotonin, it regulates motivated to get more stuff done. Having bad sleep will impact things like appetite, weight regulation. So these all play a part together. It's a domino effect. Once one's out of sync, the other's out of sync, and then we go in this vicious cycle, round and round and round, and wonder why we don't get anywhere. And again, this could be you now. This could be something that you've experienced yourself, and it could be the fact that we're just not looking after the hormone of serotonin through good, healthy food choices. This statement is something that you might have heard before, but it's one that I love, and I think it's very, very appealable. especially on a health and fitness journey, we give up what we want most for what we want now. And I think, especially when you're on a weight loss journey, is the temptation to have that custard cream donut, or when who works in an office and they bring in cakes and have Fat Fridays and stuff like that. Yeah, it's hard work, isn't it? Everyone's sat having a full English, or everyone's sat having these cakes and chocolates, and you think, God, I just want one. And it's like we're giving up what we want most for what we want right now. And a lot of the time, it's just because we're feeling a bit sad. Like emotionally, people eat because of stress. It's a big thing. So understanding, again, that let's sacrifice what we want now, and let's remember what we want most, which is the dream outcome of losing the weight, achieving the goal performance, marathon or whatever it is. But just take some courage and some discipline when it comes to making those decisions. And the final step, which is kind of putting the pieces together and hopefully going to help you to really fuel your future, is setting non-negotiables. So have some routine that are built with a lifetime habit. So when we wake up, step 1, hydrate. Step 2 could be move. Step 3 could be make sure you have that high protein breakfast. Make sure you've got those routines in place. No matter what day it is, no matter what country you're in, you know exactly what you're going to do when you first wake up. Same as when you go to bed. I know it's not as easy as that. As a dad, I know it can be very challenging. Time frames can move a lot. And if you don't quite stick to the time frame you put in place, you feel like you've not done it. But just set yourself some basic routines and start to nail them as non-negotiables. Scheduling your week is a big one. I know I put month in year, but you can actually schedule them things well, like, this week you've got X, Y, Z to do. Next month I want to achieve, this goal, this weight loss goal, or I want to have run a 20K. And then over the year, it's like almost try to plan your year a bit better. So you've got events like this coming up. You've got things to look forward to, like setting your goals up. Okay, like Ian was talking about. Don't break promises to yourself. Like, this is such a big one that I think we all do and have done. And it's one that, if you think about it logically, it doesn't make any sense, because this one for me is like, when you say to yourself, I'm going to get up at 7 in the morning, I'm going to go for that run, I'm going to start the day strong. And this is at 10 o'clock at night, right? You go to bed, 7 o'clock, alarm goes off, boop, 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 and you're like, nah, I'm staying in bed. And no one knows apart from you. So you're not really letting anyone down apart from you, right? And you'll do that time and time again. But actually, if I was saying to, I'm saying to Mark, right, brother, I'll see you at the gym at 7 a.m. He's like, yeah, I'll be there, mate. We'll get massive. Sound, no worries, mate. 7 a.m. comes, I'm at the gym, waiting for Mark. 10 past, quarter past, half past, Mark's not here. All right, I'll train without him then, no worries. I speak to Mark later on. He's not turned up because he overlaid or whatever reason he gives me. It doesn't really matter. Don't worry, Levi, I'll be there tomorrow. Sound, see you tomorrow, mate. 7 a.m. comes, 10 past, quarter past, he don't turn up again. And he does this time and time again. By the 5th day, or probably by the 3rd day, he says he's going to be there at 7. Do you think I'm going to believe him? No. So, and that just shows again, like, he's broke his promise to me. I don't trust him. And it's no different when you do it to yourself. You keep saying, I'm going to get up at 7, or I'm going to go to the gym this week, I'm going to do this. But then you don't do it. You're just reinforcing that you are not strong enough, that you cannot do it, that you can't trust yourself. So make a promise and just start with one simple one. Don't try and do a day where you're going to go, I'm going to do this, this, and this. Just do one and start to build the confidence, build the self-trust. And then again, Ian talked about this. Lee's talked about this. Remember your why. I think having a good why, obviously it's essential, but it can be difficult sometimes. Is your why strong enough? Ultimately, having a good why should be the bottom line when you're not doing the things that you should be doing. Let this hit you in the face like a ton of bricks and go, hang on a minute. This is why you're doing it. You want to be the best dad. You want to help people, change their lives. You want to lose all this weight for that wedding. Let that hit you like a ton of bricks in the face. And then to finish, this is relatable across all your life, business, health, personal. This is the emotional changes, 5 stages of emotional changes, but these are the 5 stages of your health journey. I spoke to Jess earlier on. She was speaking about it literally to the point where these last few weeks she's been challenging herself to do these runs, and there's been days when she felt great, and then there's been days when she's felt shit. And she's not wanting to, but she's carried on doing it, and she feels great for it now. Stage one, when you start something new, and you probably all in this room right now feel like this or have just kind of left this stage, is uninformed optimism. You start something new, I'm going to get in the best shape of life, I can't wait, yeah, I'm going to look great on the beach, I'm going to get shredded, or I'm going to get in that wedding dress, or, you know, I'm going to prove all these people wrong, and you know, leading from the front, you're just motivated. You can't wait to get going. And you start this, and this will happen for probably a couple of weeks where the program feels not easy, but your motivation to do it is there. So when you're motivated, anything seems easy, right? Then you hit stage two, which is informed pessimism. This is the point where you're thinking, this is harder than I thought, actually. Like, hang on a minute, I've got to keep getting up in the morning. Shit, I've got to do meal prep all the time. Like, come on. Surely it was easy. Last it was easy because you're motivated. Now the motivation goes. Now the positivity becomes a bit negative. You start talking yourself out a little bit. Maybe you're looking for a way out, but you're still in the game. You're not quite quit yet. Then you hit the valley of despair. This is where we find ourselves a lot, and it's just like, shit hits the fan, we're really struggling, like, we are looking for a way out now, and we just don't think we can carry on. Like, what we set ourselves out to do is just unachievable. And again, it just goes back to Ian's story so many times when he was on the bike and he wanted to quit and say, Dad, I don't think I can do it. Or when I was swimming, I don't think I can do it. These stages might happen within a few hours of some event. But you're in the valley of despair now where you really are just thinking, I want to get out. But, and we've all been there, right? If you just persevere, if you do get back on plan, because at this point now, this is where you need to say to yourself, am I doing what I've been asked? Am I doing my steps? Am I tracking my calories? Am I getting up and doing the morning prep, or am I being honest with myself? Am I turning up to the gym? And if you're not, then you're just going to go back to stage one. But if you do pick up the pieces and think, do you know what, I'm fed up of going back, let's carry on with this, you'll then hit stage four, which is informed optimism. This is where you understand the highs, you understand the lows, but you are prepared to keep pushing on. And by this point now, you know the good days are going to come. Like I said earlier on, you know, it's not always sunshine and rainbows, but we have to have the non-negotiables. This is where the routines, the habits come into place. Yeah, I'm definitely not perfect, but I just keep going because what choice have I got? If not now, when? You know, when are you going to decide to get up and do the work and get the result that you want? It might take you an extra few months. So what? We're going to live and we're going to die anyway. Sorry, going back again. And then stage 5 is goal achieved, confetti. Loading error. There we go. Slowly, bit of lag. Wi-Fi connection not quite good here. But anyway, goal achieved. Okay, we've hit the goal, we've achieved what we wanted to do, we've run the marathon, we've lost the weight, we're in the wedding dress, we're feeling incredible. We've proved to ourselves that we can do it. And at the beginning, and then at one point, stage 2 and 3, there we go. We thought we couldn't. Again, it just proves to yourself, you know, when you persevere and you do challenge yourself and you put yourself in them uncomfortable positions, start changing your belief system again, anything can be achieved. It's not easy, but anything good isn't easy, is it? So this is the last little bit of just that point, and this is what happens a lot is, generally, and this happens in business, in health, is we start something new, it's amazing, actually, it's not as easy as I thought, it's quite hard, I don't know what I'm doing, I've lost my way, shit, I'm gonna quit, I'll start something new. This could be a new plan, a new program, a new coach, a new diet. Yeah, this diet's gonna work. Yeah, this program's gonna work. Yeah, he's a new coach, I go with him. Oh shit, it's hard again. Oh my God, back in the valley of despair. And you go round and round and round until you do what you need to be doing, you hit stage 4, and then you realize, actually, I can do this. And that goes across anything in life as well. So hopefully that helps. And thank you for listening. I feel like I waffled then. Thank you.
Guys, another round of applause for Levi.
I will just say, if anyone has got any questions about anything or want to ask me, come and grab me any point of the day. More than happy to help you. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and let's go!